Well, good evening, everybody. This is Thomas together with a bunch of people, Michelle, Alejandro, and Aaron, and we're going to have a little dev meeting for the Website 1 project. So let's kick it off. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Let's go to screen share, and let's go over to Pivotal Tracker. Where are you, Pivotal Tracker? Nowhere to be seen, so let's just do this. Okay. All right, perhaps just a little update from everybody. If we start with well, let's go with gentlemen. So ladies first. What have you been up to, Michelle? What are your plans and anything stopping you right now? Just a regular Scrum question.
So the search functionality that we were working on was merged today. The only other thing that I was working on potentially was the image upload solution, which I still haven't heard what we want to do with that yet.
No, we haven't made any decision. We spoke about it,
okay.
But we're leaning toward Dropbox integration, basically.
Okay. And then so for the time being, do I need to do anything with it in Tracker, like on Market started, or?
You can leave it be as it is, actually.
Okay.
You know, if or when we make a decision, we're just going to close this one, or you know.
Sure.
So yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So your pull request, I merged it in and I pushed it up to staging, actually, so we could see. Oh, so you guys are relatively new to this project, so I'm going to tell you a little bit after we're done with the Scrum part. I'm going to tell you about the server structure that we have in this project. But we will find you something to do for you, Michelle. That's one of the objectives for tonight's meeting. So cool. So Alejandro, you want to go?
Hi. I've been working on N+1 issue that's merged to develop, and now I am trying to add an counter cache to status.
Okay.
To user status. I plan to do this work to complete the task.
Okay, which story was that?
It's in current. It's in current. Is one of the last. I see one of the last. Performance.
When using visiting users. Yes. Cool. Great. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this user index today as well, because there's another issue with that page. So let me get back to that later. But yeah, you're going to work with a counter cache for titles and statuses. Okay.
Yes, I am working on a counter cache of status, but titles. Bullet asks for counter cache of titles too, but titles are a tag managed by acts as tagable.
Yes.
And I can find the way to add counter cache to titles.
Okay.
To user titles. I think this is the.
Yeah, I would say work with the status and leave the titles. For now, basically, it's anything that has to do with it, because we're going to rethink the way we handle those things altogether.
Okay.
So that's cool. All right, and. But we'll be talking a little bit about the user's index page in this meeting later on. So, yeah, cool. All right, Aaron.
So I tried to fix that one RSpec test. It works on my computer, and it said like it didn't have any errors. So, but now that I look at the GitHub stuff, it says it didn't pass. So I'm not sure what's going on. Um, so I worked on that FA button stuff, and what else? The thumbs up, thumbs down, vote button, and also I did the standardized password retrieve use button large as we use on the other forms. That's done, but I haven't pushed it into the repo because I don't know if it's gonna give me like another error or not. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay. All right. So I see that on your last. First of all, you can close one of those, or I think I closed one of those pull requests because when you worked on, you made some changes. I think it was the icons first. Then you branched off from that branch instead of going back to develop and branch off from that. So I had both those. In both those pull requests, I had the same commits basically, but it's not a big thing at this stage. But only one of these pull requests was relevant basically. But I see here that what failed on semaphore was a scrums feature. So let's see what the error was. Probably it's going to be fixed if I rerun this. This is one of the steps that sometimes fail for us. So yeah. Well, instead of searching for it, I can just rerun the whole build and see if it passes. Otherwise, we can debug it later. Cool. And also, yeah, so in the meantime, is there anything else you have to work on? I mean, if this is fixed, do you have tasks that you want to work on, or should we find something for you?
I don't know if I should leave some for Peter, like on the front end stuff. So there's still some stuff left.
All right.
I don't know if you guys want to give me another thing. That's cool too.
Okay. Cool. All right. We can have a look at it tonight. So, and I see Brian's with us, right?
Yes, that's right.
How you doing,
Okay.
Brian?
Good. I totally forgot about the time difference and turned up an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my fault partially because I actually told you that it was 1 hour ago yesterday when you asked you. Anyway, so yeah. So what have you been up to?
In terms of Algae Ventures, I was pairing with Raul and a few others a couple of days ago. We were talking about that the issue with the advanced search, which we ended up getting rid of turbolinks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened yesterday. That was pretty much it. I haven't been doing much Agile venturing apart from that.
Cool. Yes, but you're here now, so that's the most important thing.
Oh, just a question for you, Thomas. Did we add a story in there to? I guess we are accepting Raul's pull request as it is.
Yeah.
Should we add a chore in there to clean up the stuff from turbolinks?
Yes, absolutely. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Great.
I'll do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, that was
good input. I thought he actually did that, but I didn't. I forgot about it today when I was going over his code. So yeah. Great. Okay, and for myself, I didn't do much today, apart from talking to myself this morning, I guess. No, to Raul and Sampriti, and Sampriti's working on this all dependencies pull request that he started like 2-3 months ago, and he made a bump of Ruby to 2.2, I think, or 2.2.1. I don't remember really, but we're facing a poltergeist timeout issue, so there's a lot of failing tests. But he's done a tremendous job upgrading the RSpec syntax, so we got rid of all the old syntax that was used before, upgraded all the gems and everything, and the application is working, but there seems to be some issues with running the cucumber tests mainly, and some RSpecs. But so he's going to work on that, and so we discussed this in a pairing session earlier today. So yeah, so hopefully he can leverage some of the experiences that Raul had with Phantom.js when working on this search functionality. So yeah, apart from that, nothing much Agile Ventures related. Apart from that, I've been monitoring and pushing out the links to our fundraising campaign. So please, if you guys have the I don't know, some social media stuff, push it out and get your networks to engage in that campaign if possible. I just assume that you know that there's a link. Where is that link? Actually, it's here someplace. Yeah, so I'm just going to paste it into the chat. Yes, so let's talk about what it is. Oh, Raul is here. How you doing, Raul?
All right, and yourself?
Just fine, thank you.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Okay.
So your pull request is merged in now. Yours and Michelle's, so it's on staging.
Yes.
And that will push it out all the way to production. So just a quick word about this staging, develop, and production. So we have 3 servers that we use. Just a quick overview of that. You know, when you guys submit a pull request, when me or Brian merge that code in, that is automatically deployed to a develop server by semaphore. And I usually just take that code if there's nothing wrong with it and push it out to staging, because staging has a copy of the database from production with some 400 something users and some products, and we usually test those functions manually, see if everything is working. We don't get any 500 errors. We run them if there's any migrations to be run. We do that, of course, etc., etc. And then we push it out to production. So production is the 3rd server, and that is the live site under the AgileVentures.org domain. So every pull request makes this 3 steps, before being deployed to a production server. So Michelle and Raul, your pull request is on staging, and I don't see any errors here at all. It seems to be working. Testing of this is kind of hard because these links are linking to the production server, but it seems that everything is okay. So I will be pushing this out tonight to production. Is there anything we could, Raul, a question for you, is there anything we can do about this global custom search? Could we, you see this, it's not horizontally centered. Could we pull that down a little bit by CSS? You see the text Google custom search it leans toward the top.
Yeah, I see that. So the one thing that I did is when you click that open, it brings the cursor right to the input box, so you don't really get to see that unless you click away from them.
Okay.
Yeah, but the text is not centered also.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I can make a quick fix on that and push it during the week also.
Yeah, it's not a big thing, of course, but it's just a aesthetic thing. So it doesn't, since it doesn't affect functionality, I will push it up to production. But if you have the time, you can write up a little chore on Pivotal Tracker about it, and work on it. If
the other thing I was do we need to show this when, I don't know if you guys check responsiveness of website, but is it necessary to show this when it's on a mobile?
Well, I did access this on mobile today, and I was, I wasn't totally happy with the placement of it. So, but there are I mean, this site is using Bootstrap, and so it is responsive by default. But the way we have structured the CSS, it's not the best solution. So, for instance, these menu items shouldn't be centered like this, and there's some other weird stuff going on the site actually. So I know that Aaron, you were interested in some front-end stuff, and Piotr is interested in that. So one of the tasks that we have kind of outstanding, but we haven't allocated any resources to this, is to go do an overhaul of all the CSS styling and adopt, make it more responsive and better on tablets and smartphones. But to answer your question, I wouldn't worry about this right now. When we do our overhaul, we can move the placement of this search bar. When the site is accessed on a smartphone. But don't worry about it for now. Okay. So if we go to Pivotal, where is Pivotal? Too many tabs open. Here it is. So there are some things that, all the things that are in the backlog right now has been prioritized by Sam. So we need to focus on that, of course, and we also need to focus on checking off the stuff that are in the current right now. So I don't know, Brian, is it a good point to go over the stuff that we're working on right now?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Okay. So just to
see where we are.
Yeah. So we have one story here, one bug that says that YouTube Sync is failing in some cases. This is actually this is fixed actually by me and Michelle. So I just have to deliver this. No, this is not the one. Hold on. Now, okay, so this was Rene. He had an error when he tried to connect his YouTube channel, and there was another error related to his YouTube channel connection, and me and Michelle fixed that. So most probably this one is also fixed. You remember when we did that, Michelle?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. So Michelle spotted that the name of his YouTube name in our database wasn't corresponding to the YouTube name that he had on YouTube. So we fixed that, and that's probably the issue with this particular thing as well. But I'm going to leave it for now and just try to reach out to Rene again and see if he can replicate this error, or we can find another user that has a failing connection as well before we move on with this. So site introduction screencast, this is on me. Basically what I've done, I've wrote two scripts. One script for introduction screencast that targets our potential clients, charities, and another one that targets our potential members. Today is not a time to go over those scripts, but I'll be happy to share links to those documents with you guys to have your input. But this is I'm working on this right now. Past scrums display are missing. This is something that Marcelo was working on to display the Euro-Asia. Yeah, okay. So if we go to past scrums, it seems like the Euro-Asia scrum is not showing up, and we tried to address this before, but that got lost somehow. So this is a rather quick fix. It's just a matter of updating an array that is used to get those recordings from YouTube by using a YouTube API, and update 1 or 2 tests. So I haven't seen Marcelo for a while. So if any of you guys would like to work on that, I'd be very happy if you did that. Because this
Yeah,
is
I'll take a look at it. I'll probably have questions, but
sure. But I can add you to this for now, and yeah, and I can point you in the right direction, you know,
perfect.
tomorrow or something. Update gem dependencies. That's on Samprati. He's working on it. User preference for hire me button can be bypassed. This is also something that Samprati spotted, and I spoke to him about it a few days ago, and he's on this. GitHub commit count job encounters nil exception. Yeah, so this is yeah, it doesn't do that anymore after my, you know, kind of fixes, right? So this bug is actually out of the way, Brian.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
The fix you push should have
Yeah.
done that.
Because there's another story for that you were and Jeff was working on, right?
Yeah, and it's still sort of slowly progressing.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to that soon. Specs for app help. Yeah. So this chore is something that the Binghamton students were doing, right? And this is not going to happen anymore, is it?
So I was actually looking at some of those recently before I started working on the search. So
Yeah.
I can probably take a look at it.
Yeah. So I'm going to mark that as unstarted, and if you want to, you know, move ahead and do something with this, just feel free to start this chore. Same thing goes for this one. Refactor specs to get rid of 9 deprecation warnings. What is that?
I think
Undocumented chore. It's on me. Wow. Okay. Well, I just marked it when I started.
so. There were some deprecation warning messages with RSpec. Last night I kind of did something on that as well. So I got rid of them on my side. I just need to probably push them and make a pull request also.
Okay.
I don't know if it's that one.
Well, you can go over that again. I think that Sampriti made an overhaul of the deprecation warnings on this chore that has to do with updating the dependencies. So do coordinate with him. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So accept Jira links in project attributes. So yeah, this one is about projects. If you go to any project and update, yes, we have this a link to Pivotal Tracker on you know, on the project show page. Because when we started this project, we only used Pivotal Tracker, but now some of the projects are using some other project management tools. So this validator is not valid anymore, right? So this job could be yeah. I would like to prioritize this. And who's working on it? Ryan Smith. Haven't seen Ryan in a long while. So if anybody feels like taking over this story, feel free to do that. I'm going to mark it unstarted.
I can look at that one too. Is it the same sort of thing where you have a constant list that you're validating against, like with the URLs?
Yes. It's actually, that validator is located in the same library, in the same folder that is image validator, and there's a constant list, I think. Brian, do you remember that?
Jira.
The Pivotal Tracker validator.
Oh yeah. I can't really remember that one.
No,
Sorry.
but it should be a straightforward story, actually, Michelle. So, and also there's another problem with that validator, that we have this in the Pivotal Tracker made an update like 6 months ago or 5 months ago, and they include this letter N in the URL for a new dashboard, and the old ones had a letter R or something. I don't know, but so these new links are not being validated. They're not, clearing the validator. So that needs to be updated as well, actually.
Okay.
So yeah, please go ahead and have a look.
Pure was working on that.
Yeah, I think I recall somebody is actually working on that story.
On this
On the one we're talking about?
the Jira links or the
Pivotal.
Oh, the Pivotal. Okay, so there could be a another story for that. So yeah, we get to that, I guess. So where were we? Edit. Let's see. Edit Hangout link fails. Yeah. Okay. The problem is that. Oh. There's also something that I wrote up when we search for that particular. And then. Yeah. Okay. We could move this out from current because since we're gonna do some updates to the projects or events show page, we don't need this to be fixed, I guess. Or how do you feel about this one, Brian?
What's the issue?
Well, the problem is that that form edit hangout link is trying to update an instance of event instant that does not exist. I don't recall. I wrote this one up, but I don't recall this. Let's see.
Okay. What Hangout has that ID?
So if I go here,
if it was a one-off event, then it's probably not worth looking at it. But if it's a recurring thing, you might want to.
I mean, we rarely use this this update edit hangout link.
That's true. We should still investigate it if it's still around.
Yeah. But didn't we kind of made a decision that this form should go when we do a redesign of this events show page?
The events ethic?
Yeah.
In general, yeah. I think so.
Let's move it. Let's move it out from.
Yeah.
Let's just.
If it's not a severe bug, then let's ignore it because event ethic will.
I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move it over to Icebox. Actually, I don't. Yeah. So nobody starts it for now. Yeah. Yes. Yes, and now we have this. Those two specs. So just mark these unstarted. This is also chores that were being done by the by those students, and this is not going to happen. So mark this unstarted. Okay, update events show page, Brian. Yeah. Yes, Brian.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says here, Brian.
What was? Oh, was that the one me and Chris were?
Yeah. So we had this.
Did he
we had
submit
this.
a pull request?
Not on this one. No.
Oh, so it's still hanging around. I thought Chris took it up and finished it. Okay.
Oh, this is a big one, with. I mean, we have this lo-fi and everything, so.
We got pretty far with it. I thought we were finished.
Yeah.
I'll have a look.
Sure. But do you want me to put like Aaron and Piotr on it? Perhaps they could.
Yeah. I'll check to see who has the latest between me and Chris and have them pull it from us.
So, Aaron, how do you feel about taking this on? There's a lo-fi or hi-fi, I don't know, but there's a sketch on what we want to achieve, and Brian and Christopher already worked on this. Do you want? Would you feel confident taking this from their hands?
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Yeah. And I would be glad if you could like pair up with Piotr, for instance, if you can, or somebody else. So you know, you can do this TDD and you know, work collaboratively on this task.
Would mind helping also?
So Raul, audio is breaking up a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if somebody's talking right now.
We can't hear you, Raul.
Yeah, my computer was freezing up a bit. I was saying that I wouldn't mind helping also on that.
Okay. So I can add,
if Aaron wants to, if Aaron wants to pay, I can, have a look at it also.
okay.
Cool.
So so I'm gonna add the three of you. So take you off that task, Brian. Okay.
Sure. Can you send a link to that pivotal tracker to me?
Yeah.
Pivotal story, and then I'll try and find out from Chris which one of us has the latest. Thanks.
Oh, all right. So Hangout connection fails. Hangout is not created on WSO. Yes. So we don't have that problem anymore. We used to have it more before. But this is something that returns from time to time. It has nothing to do with us. The application is actually working okay, even though I'm not very happy about, but this is an old story. I'm not very happy about the fact that the Hangout connection application is actually creating this event instance, but that's a whole different story. The Hangout connection application works. This is not something that we need to prioritize, and Sam will never work on that probably. So I'm going to remove him from this story and move this out to Icebox actually. So here it goes. All right. So yeah, add search functionality. So here's the deal, guys. When you have finished a story, this is the story that you, Raul and Michelle, worked on. I need you to go to GitHub to your pull request that now is closed. So I'm gonna check this here and copy this link and paste it into Pivotal Tracker, saying PR submitted like this, add, and then you guys mark this as finished, and then.
So what's the trigger for marking it as finished? Is it once it's merged?
Once it's merged, yes.
Okay.
Right, Brian? Or should they click finish when they are submitting the pull request?
After it's merged.
After it's merged, yeah. So yeah, and then once I push it up all the way to production, I'm gonna click deliver on it, basically. All right.
All right.
Cool. Event instance is tweeting out empty links. It doesn't do that anymore. I fixed that. Yes. So validator for cover image is not working. So I'm going to move this out to Icebox because we are leaning toward integrating Dropbox and Dropbox storage for those images actually, rather than linking to pulling in URLs. But we haven't made a decision on it yet. So, but I don't feel that Michelle needs to work on that validator for now. So I'm going to move this out from here. There we go. Yes, display flash with promotions. This is a marketing thing. Basically, what I want to do is when you access the site, I want to display a flash saying something that, for instance, as we do now, we have this fundraising campaign or whatever we can promote on the site. And I spoke to Sam about this. It should be a feature, but we want to move ahead with that, so we made a chore out of it, so we didn't have to vote or anything. It's a relatively quick fix, but obviously I haven't pushed it up yet. Yes. Actually, I ran into some problems with it. I couldn't... yeah, anyway, it's going to be here for a while. Yes. Yeah, so performance when visiting users index, this is something that Alejandro works on. We already spoke about this today, so it's here, no probs. And here's the pivotal tracker validator bug that we touched upon with the Jira links. And Piotr is working on it, so when you start to work on that Jira integration, you don't have to worry about this pivotal tracker validator, Michelle, okay?
Sorry, mute again. Okay.
Okay, I know you're muted, so that's why I'm waiting. You know, I do this dramatic pause here before you can get a chance to come in. All right, so let's focus on those bugs and tasks so we can clear this out of the way, basically. And yeah, so all these spec things will be moved down a little bit in the backlog because they are not prioritized by the client, but they were at one point. So, Raul, if you want to spend some time with this, do that. It's not, the chase for 100% test coverage is always interesting, but it's not that mission critical. So don't spend too much time, your valuable time that on that, but rather focus on things that move us forward.
Well, what I've noticed so far is that most of those methods actually are not used in the application. So I was thinking I'll probably drop them or something.
Yeah.
But I'll do them when I do them. I'll pull request and you guys can review it and see if it's able to push.
Absolutely. If you can make a good case for deleting code, just make that case and we review that. Absolutely, and we'd be very happy to drop some code. I think we still have some weird models and some other stuff lying around the application code that we don't use for anything. So some cleanup would be very nice. Okay, so I was. What's next? We have some stories here in the backlog that some prioritized that are not voted on. So I would say we should have a look at them before we do anything else. If that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
So
Yes.
one of the things that Sam requested is that event page should show a Scrum. Event page showing a Scrum should auto-update when Scrum is started. Okay, event page showing a Scrum should auto-update. To avoid race conditions, that's easy. I don't understand what this is about. Okay, there is no way that we can auto-update anything right now because our processing power on the server is reaching its maximum. So if we install, sprockets or whatever, this will consume too much memory, I guess. Brian, do you have any ideas about this?
Well, I don't think that's the issue. The issue is, well, yeah, it will generate a lot more traffic if we want to use any kind of auto-updating method. I wonder if we could get around this issue if before a Hangout is actually started, you need to check if a Hangout is already started before you can start a Hangout. If that makes sense. So before it starts the Hangout, it does a check and then starts it.
Yes.
if it's okay. So it's not auto-updating, but it sort of checks before you start.
Yes.
That way we can avoid any...
But how can we do that? So we have to check for if there is any
If there's any existing Hangout?
that is currently, well, there's a lot of existing Hangouts with the same name, for instance.
Yeah.
But we have to check whether it's online now or is broadcasting right now
Yeah.
or something. So we need to hit that API somehow.
Mhm.
Okay. Whew. Well, okay. The thing is that
I don't think it's like a huge issue. Has this happened a lot? That so much that Sam needs to add the story, or is it just around in there?
perhaps
It's
he
not
just
what might happen.
perhaps he just felt like it at that particular moment, you know.
But I don't think there's enough Scrum Masters for the same Scrum to have this kind of problem.
No, but the problem is that I think what he means here is that, you know, if you go to this events show page, you need to see that it's, you know, you have, for instance, you have the Pacific Rim Scrum open, right?
Yeah.
And when somebody starts that hangout, he wants this not yet live to be auto-updated. That this is what he wants. I remember the discussion about it now, and that actually means that we need to push out a notification, an auto-update, something with Ajax or whatever, you know. And we had that. Do you remember we had that on the Hangouts page, index page, and that was communicating with the server every 10 seconds,
Yes,
and that caused the crash. Yeah.
If we use that approach, then yes, it's gonna cause lots of problems.
Yeah.
But what I'm suggesting is just before you start a Hangout, check that there's nothing started before.
Yeah. I recently read an okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's a notification jam. I recently read an article about this, you know, fairly not memory-consuming way of pushing notifications.
But it might not. It's gonna need extra infrastructure on Heroku. I don't know if it's available on the free tier, like active message queue.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, but it's worth investigating.
Mm.
And also, we
have to move to a paid account soon because we are hitting the limit on you know what we can do on the free account right now. So, for instance, the database is almost full. We have a limit of 10,000 rows, and we are on 7,500 or something like that. So. So that's why we're raising those monies right now, so we can pay for those servers, basically. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So okay. So we don't know enough for us to be able to vote on the story right now. Could you take upon yourself to do a research on this, Brian? I mean, you don't have to work on it right now. Just do some sort of a research. So next week, you know, present some sort of a, you know, solution kind of thing. That okay, this is what we would need to do, and so we have enough information so we can actually assess this. You know, you know, the complexity of the story.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to Sam about what he wants to get out of this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna assign you to this.
Yeah, assign me to that. I'll take it.
Yeah. So
just investigate.
Yeah. Do initial research. Okay. Yes. So hopefully we can vote on it next week. And then we have this link to live feed. Okay. As a user, in order to know what's going on in the community, even if I feel too intimidated to join an ongoing Scrum, but rather just watch the Scrum, I would like to see a YouTube link to live feed on the event show page, event list. Okay, so this is more straightforward actually, but of course not automatically updated. But if you reload this, you know, this page, we could place a link to the live stream, because we have that information in the event instance table. So basically, what we need to do is to get the latest event instance, see if there is a YouTube ID or YouTube video link in it, and publish it on this. Does that make sense? Silence, guys. Okay, so
You said we need to.
So let me demonstrate a little bit. Heroku run Rails console remote production. So what this story is about, publishing a link to. While I wait for this, I can do something else. So if we go to YouTube for now and go to my channel, and we can see that we have this live now weekly meeting. So this is streamed. This meeting is being streamed out live over YouTube, right? So that's not a problem. So if I do event instance.last, this is what's going on right now. This is the last event that has been published in the database, and you see that we have the title weekly dev meeting, Friday the 10th, blah, blah, blah. We see that, what do we see? We see that Thomas is in the meeting. We see that Brian is in the meeting. We see that some other people are here because, yes, and we see that Thomas is the one that is broadcasting. Aaron is here, Michelle is here, etc., etc. So what we also have is we have a YouTube video ID here, right? And it says ZOZ blah 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 blah, right? So if I go to YouTube again and go u2.b/ and that code, I am redirected to no found. Okay, U2, why not? Because yeah, but you see that this is the same code.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the same code, right? So since this is actually stored in the database, we could, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I hate hearing myself twice. Anyway, so since we have this YouTube video ID stored in the database, we can access this and publish this information on the events show page, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And of course, we have to write some tests for it, so it's actually there. All right. Questions?
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. So Brian, you're good at explaining this. Can you, since this good folks has not been voting on many stories before, you want to talk them through the voting process?
Okay. The voting process is very simple. If you guys can open up the chat to your right and try and think of a number What was our numbering system again? Was it 1, 2, 3, right?
1 to 3.
Yeah, cool. So 1 is easy, something that you would think you'd be able to do in like a day or something. 2 is sort of medium. It might take a couple of days, and you might need to pair on it a little bit to get it done. 3 is a little bit harder. You might be, constantly pairing with someone for like a week or something to get this done. That's just my rough estimation of what the points are. But as you vote on more stories, you'll get a better idea of what 1, 2, 3 really means. But okay, the next thing is before we vote, somebody's gonna use a very sophisticated voting synchronization tool that we like to use, which is the
Ready, steady, go.
Yeah, ready, steady, go. You put in a number in the chat. You don't hit enter, and when somebody says go or something, then you hit enter, and everyone's vote comes out all at once. The reason we want to do this is so that we don't bias anybody's vote. So if somebody else's vote comes out first, you don't go, oh, okay, that's a good number, I'll pick that too, because that ruins the whole voting process. Everyone must put in what they think the story should be worth. And if we have the discrepancies, we'd like to discuss why we have different ideas of how long it'll take.
Yeah.
So you don't feel ashamed if your number is different from anyone else. Nothing wrong with that. Just tell us why you think it's that much.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong answers here. It's just your own assessment, and try to think about how you would approach the story. If you find it's a 1-point story, 2-point story, or 3-point story, it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks. And usually we have a consensus, but sometimes somebody says this is a 3-point story, and some other says it's a 1-pointer. But that's just then we have a discussion, and usually. Perhaps there was some misunderstanding or some other view on the complexity, and we can solve that in a discussion, basically. But just to recap this story, what we want to do, we want to display a link to the live feed. We need to grab that value from the database, and that value is being updated after the YouTube. After the Hangout has been started, so it's not there prior to somebody hitting start the Hangout button. But what is in the database is the previous Hangout from like the week before or the day before. So we have to be able to distinguish that. We have to get the very latest event instance, basically. And I see that a little bit as a challenge, perhaps. And of course, we need to test for that. So, since we are not testing live, we're not hitting the API with tests, but we have some fixtures for that. So that is also, an issue to think about. That you are not actually asking the question to the API while the test is running, but you're hitting a fixture that is, pre-filled with content that is old, or perhaps you have to create a new fixture for that particular test, etc. Anyway, is the story clear enough? Can we go to a vote, or do we need to discuss this further?
I think it's clear for me.
All right. Okay, no objections. Then let's go to a vote. So let me just. What the hell am I doing? There we go. And yeah, so.
We can see if you type, right? So.
I know. So I'm gonna not share my screen for a while, perhaps. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So nobody sees my chat window now. Cool.
No.
So type in, but do not hit enter yet. And on my go, you hit enter. Ready, steady, and go. All right. So, Michelle, you're in the
Alright,
hot
computer
seat
chain.
here. uh,
Just
what?
because it's honestly just more because I don't really know what all of the steps entail, so I think doing it in a day sounds a little bit tight, so I just erred on the side of being conservative.
Cool. Fair enough. Anybody want to make an argument for the 2?
The 2 for me is mainly because of the testing side of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why not a 3 then?
Well, I still think I can manage, but yeah, 2 is fine for me.
All right. Yeah, for me
Yeah.
it was a medium strong 2 also. It wasn't even leaning to a 3, but I think we can manage it as a 2-point story here. So yeah, well, oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna set it down, put it down for a 2, and close, and that's it. Okay. Yes. What we could do perhaps is, well, we're running out of time. We've been at it for a while, an hour now. So let me ask you guys this way: does everybody have something to do for the next upcoming week?
I have not.
You have not. Okay, so let's
I
find
have
something
not.
for you, Alejandro.
So if that's the last thing we're doing, is it all right if I drop? Because I need to jump to another meeting here. Is there anything else we were going over as a group?
No, absolutely. And you know what you're gonna do, so you're cool. Thanks for being here tonight, and I talk to you soon. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Salam.
Right.
Yeah. Do we have anything for Alejandro? We have this. I have this story about reminding user to complete profile.
What?
This is a semi back-end front-end thing.
Complete profile. And user to complete profile.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what this is about, that if somebody has not filled in his first name, last name, or hasn't written a bio, or has not sent his skills, when he logs in, we would like to remind him. It's not mandatory in any way, but we would like to flash and say, hey, there are some things on your profile page that are not filled in, and by doing that, you give other members a better opportunity to get to know you, basically. So we have to basically add some methods to check that on login.
On login.
And then yes, and if some conditions are met, you want to flash some info, basically.
Okay, yes, I can do it.
All right.
On login, flash the message.
Yeah. Basically.
Okay, perfect.
So
yes.
I'm gonna put you down for this. Great. And whenever you feel like it, just click start on the story. Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful. And Aaron, you have stuff you can work on?
Yeah, you just assign some stuff with Raul, so we'll do that, and then maybe finish out the UI stuff. And that's I don't know if you want to pair me up with somebody else. That's cool too.
Yeah, but I think those stuff that you have, those features you have, that should be enough for to the next dev meeting next week. So I think it's cool. And if you finish something off earlier, we can we can always talk over Slack or in a Scrum meeting, and we can hook you up with something else. But it's a good start anyway. Cool. And Raul, you also have things to work on, right?
Yes.
Cool. And Brian has that as well, and that's about it, I guess. So next week I'm going to try to have a client meeting with Sam. We will be posting that in advance. So if you guys want to, if any of you want to join that meeting, it's of course perfectly all right. And that's what I'm going to. Oh, sorry. Before I move forward, we have this chore. Brian wrote it up today. Raul, to clean up the TurboLinks attributes. You know, all the. Do you want to do that for us, Raul?
Yeah, sure. I can have
You know,
a look.
anything that has to do with TurboLinks, that since we disabled them, but
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it might be a bit harder than you might think because there's a certain helper function that I wrote long ago that tries to manage this TurboLink stuff, and I've used that quite a lot. So that will be in application.js. If you've seen it, if you have any troubles trying to remove it, just let me know.
I think I came across that bit of code while I was trying to debug it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've used that in various.
so
But yeah, if I get stuck somewhere, I'll ping you maybe on Slack or something.
Yep. Cool.
For help.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'll try to have a meeting with Sam next week and you know, reprioritize some of these tasks in the backlog, but also have a look in the Icebox. One story that I find kind of interesting, and I know that Sam has said it's important, is this infinite scroll on.
Yeah.
Thomas?
I think he disappeared.
Yeah, he might have dropped out. Infinite scroll on event instance. Okay, I know Thomas has gone through the story with me before. Infinite scrolls on various places. So Sam doesn't really like pagination on anything. So everywhere where we had pagination, he'd like to replace that with an infinite scroll functionality. I believe Thomas has spiked something up that has infinite
Yeah, I heard him
scrolling
mentioning something
around.
about it.
Yeah. So if you have trouble on implementing it, you might want to talk to Thomas. Oh, okay, he's here, but apparently we can't hear him. Can you hear us, Thomas?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, what happened there?
Okay.
So I don't know if there's a lag or anyway.
Yeah. Well, we hear you now.
Okay, cool. So anyway, I would like us to vote on that story, actually, if it's okay, because this is an important one. First of all, as you said, Brian, Sam doesn't like pagination at all. Second of all, we cannot access this event instance index page at all right now. So that's why I would like us to vote on this.
Okay. So does that mean adding infinite scroll also exposes it at you, so you're adding an interface to point to Hangouts as well to navigate there? So we just have that. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's there. We have this page that's not exposed to the public. Basically, it's just /Hangouts. It's there, and it doesn't really do anything. There's no links to it because it's sort of an unfinished page on production. Not the greatest thing. Yeah, so does that mean you want to add a link to it, Thomas? Thomas? Oh dear. Okay. Because I think it'll be a lot more work if you want to. If there's any other touching up that needs to be done on that page. So unless Sam is happy with that page, okay. So if we add infinite scrolling and if that makes Sam happy, then it should be okay. Am I making sense at all?
You said the page is there, but
It's there.
If I go to the page on my local server, will I be able to see something?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's there, but
Oh.
there's no link to that page. So it's basically like an invisible page on the website.
Hmm.
Yeah, so only a few of us know about its existence. I think it was done as part of another story to deal with Hangouts, and we never quite thought it was ready to be on production. So we've never added a link to it. Or we had a link at
Okay.
one point, but we got rid of it because we didn't feel it was ready. Okay, Thomas is back.
Yeah, so I'm back on my cell phone actually because my internet connection died, and I will probably, get physical with one of my kids, and because they are downloading some heavy, videos or playing some online Counter-Strike or what the ever. So anyway, yeah, I'm sorry about this. I don't know what have been said.
I've just been trying to describe how much work that the story might entail. So I was just wondering if Sam would be happy with it, with that page, just within Finished Roll, because I remember we didn't have it public for a reason.
Yes, we didn't make it public because it was already back then loading several hundred of event instances, and it was slow. But I would say that if we add infinite scroll and just add like 20 or 30 instances at a time, this could enhance performance, at least make it accessible.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah.
I just want to confirm that this is the right page. I don't know if you can see my screen.
I cannot.
Is this the one?
Yes, that's the one.
Right?
Yes.
Yep, that looks like the one. On
So
production, there's a lot more stuff.
Yeah, so in order to work on it locally, you're going to have to update the seeds file to actually seed the database with some event instances. Because otherwise it won't work. I mean, you won't be able to replicate the behavior.
Okay.
Cool. So, you guys, can we go to a vote?
Well, Thomas, can you give us an overview of how much work it might take? Because I know you spiked something up with infinite scrolling.
I did it, without any tests, and I don't write Jasmine tests because I don't know how to do that. It uses jQuery, so we would have to test that with Jasmine, and but without any tests, it took me, with some research, hour and a half, 2 hours to do. There are some. You have to add a JS view because you continuously load with over Ajax, using Ajax. So it's not a very complicated thing, and I can make that my spike accessible to whoever works on this, so they can see how I implemented the solution on the same solution on the user's index page, and I wouldn't say it's too complicated.
In the testing on this, would this be a JavaScript testing, or I don't know?
Partially, but we can do some tests in our spec, but I do not know on top of my head how we can test for user scrolling down on a page.
Yeah, it's possible.
Using Selenium. It is possible, I know, but I don't know how to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can't remember over the top of my head, but it's a jQuery thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, you can tell Selenium to execute a bit of JavaScript, and it will scroll.
Yeah.
You can try.
But we always try to avoid using Selenium, right? So.
Well, in this case, we can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Well, Selenium, Poltergeist, whatever, anything that runs JavaScript.
Yeah, Poltergeist should be able to do that as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
because I know that I wrote some tests, some before hooks that was resizing the window in Poltergeist. So. Yeah. So it has a window element. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so we can definitely test this in our spec and in Cucumber. I guess. And it's an interesting story
Okay.
to learn how to test, actually. I think, now when I come to think of it.
It is challenging indeed.
So I'm on my cell phone, so I won't be able to vote because I can't. I think at least I can't access my chat here. But if you want to take a lead on the voting, Brian.
Yep. I've added the separator. Or actually, we don't need to. Thomas has been saying, I'm here for a while, so that should be good enough. All right, so everyone, do you have a number in your
Wait a
head?
minute, please.
Yep.
Wait a minute, please. I don't know how many actions on controllers have, how many index actions we have to add, if one, only one?
One
just one.
only.
Yeah.
Just one. On this story, it's only
Okay,
It is,
okay,
yeah, we're
okay.
only focused on one page.